great day for this conference, and been learning a lot, meeting some new people. I'm really excited and feel really lucky to be able to introduce our closing keynote speaker. I also want to give a shout out to the Arizona Developmental Disabilities Planning Council for their support in helping to bring Shawn out here to attend the conference and speak with us today. So let me tell you about Shawn. I met him a couple years ago at our national conference, the Association for University Centers on Disabilities, and heard him speak there. And I've been trying to get him here ever since to come to our conference and speak, because I think he has a great message and a lot to say. So he's a busy man, so let me tell you a little bit about what he does. He is a student at Temple University. He's majoring in legal studies in the Fox Business School. He is a student worker for Campus Police and an active member of the Black Law Student Association. He also serves as the Deputy Director of Government Affairs and Student Government. He is a civil rights and disability advocate. He has served on the board of the ARC of Philadelphia, and if you look him up, if you Google him, you will find a video of him speaking at the Capitol in Philadelphia, advocating and speaking on the importance of Medicaid, to save Medicaid here in the U.S. He spoke with U.S. Senator Bob Casey on that one. He has served as the Juvenile Justice Chair of the Pennsylvania National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Youth and College Division, and he's still a current member of the NAACD there. He is also a student intern at the Disability Rights Network of Pennsylvania law firm, and serves on the Police Advisory Commission for Philadelphia in providing input on police interaction with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And on top of that, he is also an entrepreneur and just started his own business. He does a lot, right? He's a busy man, busy schedule, and we're so excited for him to be here with us today. And so with that, please join me in welcoming Shawn to the stage.
First of all, I want to say that thank you for JC and the USAC for bringing me out here today for this magnificent and marvelous event to educate all people about the disabilities. I also want to thank Ronaldo. I don't know where he is, but thank you, Ronaldo, and thank you for David for your perseverance and recognizing the importance on disabilities. And I just like to say thank you for all the advocates for keeping up the good fight of justice. Thank you. Today I am going to share some words of encouragement, my story, and how that we can keep on pushing to to the mark of greatness. So here is my story. Once there was a boy, a black African American young man who had a disability. He was in middle school and he was bullied. He was bullied. But he had a mom, a strong mom, who advocated for him. So that mom took him out of that school that he was not succeeding and put him in a school that he can be a success story. So, in that young man was myself. That young man who standing in front of you today had overcome trials and tribulations. Even when people from his own community used to talk about him, he sometimes wondered what was his purpose in life. So he would start getting words of encouragement from his mother, from his family, and his pastor that was his mentor. And then he found out that his disability was not a disability, but it was an ordained ability. And that his ability and his greatness was royalty. When I was young, I always dreamed of being an attorney. I did not always used to think that school was for me. But I have a mother that told me, baby, you can do anything. That you want to do. And for mothers out there, I will want you to know, as a young man that have an intellectual disability, that meant more to me than life itself. And to this day, because of my mom, Janice Woods, I am able to stand before you and give this closing keynote. Now, let me take you on a journey. I was in high school and I have went to this college prep program, and the teacher told me, "You not smart enough to go to college." At first, I was a little bit shocked, but then I realized that I am more than my disability.
That's right.
I am more than what society tried to label me.
That's right.
And I want you to know today, even though you might have a disability, your son, your daughter, your cousin, whoever might have a disability, they are more than what society has labeled them. And for me, I'm like, wait a minute. There's more to life. So, because of my mom, I enter. Hold on, let me backtrack. I graduate from my high school as valedictorian. All that path. So, fast forward. About 2012, I had struggled upon this program called the Academy for Adult Learning. It was a 2-year program for kids that have, intellectual disabilities. And let me tell y'all, that changed my whole life. Because that made me realize that ain't nothing too possible. If I just have faith and believe in myself. So I went through that program, start learning about a little bit about the history, about the disability movement. Then I start speaking up and speaking out about the injustices in our society. Because let's be honest, I have 2 things against me. One, I'm a black man. Number 2, I have a disability. So I said to myself, I am going to help change society, because I realized something. We cannot call this a great nation until all people are free. And that included people with disabilities. We cannot say justice for all unless people with disabilities and African American and other communities is included in the greatness. We cannot call this a great country until every person is recognized as one thing, and that's a simple word: human. Human. And Doug Marshall once said, in recognizing the humanity in our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. And I have been fortunate enough to help advocate on the Hill about disability issues, to address the importance of Medicaid and Medicare for people with disability. Because Medicaid and Medicare is, to me, it's not just for the top percent, it's for all. Medicaid is for all people that wants to be a part of this community, especially in the African American community. My brothers and my sisters, I want you to realize that even though stuff might look dark right now in the current administration or in your life, I want y'all to know one thing: it's still hope. I want y'all to know one thing, that y'all were sent here for a reason. Y'all were sent here to advocate for people with disabilities. Y'all was ordained to do this mission. Ronaldo, you was ordained to find this conference.
All right. It's all right.
And even though society tried to tear me down, call me out my name, I still refuse to conform to what they want me to conform to. Because I know who I am.
That's right.
And now I went through my 2-year program. I went through my other 2-year program. Now I am a freshman studying legal studies with a minor in real estate and finance. And I want the parents to know today, even though the doctor might say something, always believe in your child.
That's right.
Because the doctor went taxes on me and said that I was never going to go to college. But I am happy to say, not only am I in college, but I have a GPA of a 3.67. And on top of that, I am a black man, and I'm proud to be a black man. And by me working with my university, my youth said to Temple Institute on the disabilities, they have made me realize that I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for others.
That's right.
Because I know for me, I want everyone to be great. So as a community, we have to stick together. Let me just say that I also took the initiative to start my own business. To train and change corporations, police departments, perspective on people with intellectual disability, blindness, what have you, because here's my thing. We cannot just have statistics. We have to have people.
All right.
And I want y'all to know that even though things might look tough, even though I might have to struggle, but behind every struggle, I feel myself getting stronger. I feel myself getting more in tune with policies and procedures. And I want y'all to get involved. I want y'all to vote. I want y'all to call your congressman. Let me just tell you this. Your congressman work for you, not the other way around. And here's why. Your vote is the power. We hire them, so they work for us. In closing, I want y'all to know that keep up the good work, keep up the good fight, and I will keep up the good fight. Even though societies try to tear us down and separate us apart and separate me apart, I believe that my mom saw something great in me that can help impact this whole world.
Right.
I believe that one day that people with disabilities can be whatever they want to be because it's not us that has a disability, it's society that has the disability. Because society failed to recognize our ability. I'm going to say that again. Our society failed to recognize our abilities. So that's why it's important for us as black people and all kinds of people to stick together and fight the good fight and say to each other, we got this.
That's right.
Thank you.
Good job, everyone. Give him another hand. Give him another hand. So this is the African American Conference. This is something special. We've done this for the last 8 years, and Shawn, we really appreciate coming and giving some really great words of inspiration for parents in the room. Who's the parents in the room, right? Moms and dads in the room, okay? So, please, we're not finished yet because we have some giveaways. Yes, Shawn. You got the floor, Jamal? Oh, come on, you got it. It's still early. Come on.
Can all the parents stand up?
Please. Come on, parents. Dad, you parent. Come on, parents. All the parents.
I want y'all to know that your child is something special.
Yes, that's right.
I want you to know that your child will be a success story.
That's right. Yes, he will be.
Don't. Oh God.
It's all right.
Don't let society
Work it out.
tell y'all different, because y'all is the backbone of the disability movement.
All right. All right. Anybody got any questions before we have the drawing? Anybody got any questions? We got some tissues. That was powerful. That was powerful. That was powerful. So parents, think about it. Think about what Shawn says, because what Shawn said is what we're about with this conference. Okay. So we want to empower the community. As you can see, it's not up on here, but we're talking about finding solutions and building a stronger community. All right. So anybody want